They're wet at the bottom. That one. What's the drink down at the bottom? The knee high. I'm taking them their drinks.
Get some bread. Get some bread cut, guys.
Can I get fat? Can I get fat? You have fat here?
Got cheeseburger combo. Ring it up.
Okay. Okay.
It's gonna be on the web.
Can you guys get a little bit closer? Yeah.
Phone too.
You tell me when you're ready and
So just,
we're ready?
yeah, talk about the phone call.
All right. Well, it was about, I would say, 9 o'clock in the evening after my 2 or 3 martinis, and I was checking my messages, which I normally don't check for about every 2 or 3 weeks. And because I always leave on the recorder, don't leave a message, you know, don't place an order on the recorder, so I really don't worry about checking it too often. I was at home checking the recorder from Danny's Diner, and the message came on, and it was exactly this. This is Jeff Mandel. I am the producer of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and I'm coming to the area, and I'm considering doing your restaurant. So, of course, I thought it was someone playing a joke. It never occurred to me. We didn't have a web page. It never contacted them. It just never occurred to me that someone was actually from Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I thought it was a friend, a relative, somebody playing a joke. So I played it about 10 times trying to detect voice. Couldn't figure out who it was. So then I called Danny in, who is hard to get out of his easy chair once he gets home and starts watching the sports channel at the end of the day. But I did finally get him into the recorder and played the message for him. And he said, you know, Gail, I think that's a real thing. I'll call him tomorrow. So when he called the next day, he did speak to Mr. Mandel, and he told him that same thing. And he said that he was looking for restaurants to film when they came on this road trip, and asked him, Danny, if you could describe for me in 3 words your place, I would appreciate it. And Dan said, well, Jeff, and Dan is very good with words. We are a diner, we are a drive-in, we are a dive. And Mr. Mandel said, oh, he said, well, you are just what we're looking for. So that was kind of the beginning. And then he wanted us to email.
You want me to talk at all?
He wanted us to fax him the menu. So we faxed him the menu, and the menu, he called back, I think, within an hour. And he happened to be a baseball fanatic, loved baseball. And of course, our menu, our diner is all baseball. So then he called back and spoke to Dan.
About
and
baseball.
So, go ahead, you go.
Well, basically, when I called him, introduced himself, and then it was he liked the menu, liked some of the terminology on the menu. It was baseball. He was I believe they're from Minnesota. He was a Yankee fan. I had a little disdain for him immediately because of that. But basically, we just talked some of the baseball references on the menu. We talked about the Rays, and just got the ball rolling for the show.
We were driving around that day, and we were running errands, and like he kept stopping, and I would run into the bank, and then I'd run into the grocery store, and then I'd run in, and finally at the end of the conversation, I think he was on an hour. He says a half hour. Yeah. I said, well, are we on? Are we on? Are we on? And he goes, I don't know. He didn't say anything about Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. He just wanted to talk baseball. Yeah, so after the conversation, the call back after he received the menu, it really was just talking about
Punch and Judy. And a lot of people know baseball, know that term. And he knew it, so I knew he was a pretty good baseball fan at that point. So Jeff Mandel, you know your baseball. And I remember the first reference of that term was the way they referred to Pete Rose as basically a singles hitter. And that's why we put that on the menu. It's basically a lightweight eater. He's a punch and Judy hitter.
For our breakfast sliders, that's the term that we have for our breakfast sliders.
You see the dog?
Whether it be sausage, ham, or bacon. Yeah, I've seen him before. I take pictures of him doing that. He'll get to going in a minute. He'll get it turned on. He knows how to turn it on now.
Yeah.
No, he's going to turn it on is what he's going to do.
Is he going to wash the...
Yeah. He plays with the water. He loves the water.
That's great.
Yeah. All right.
Deb, he's going to put a hole in it.
Deb, we're filming. Go ahead.
Hey, where's my burger?
Danny needs his burger. Okay.
We have all these burgers here, the Nolan Rung, awesome. Cheddar cheese, ham, bacon on top of the burger. Do you want your base
Home run chili cheese. got the potato salad and everything else, right? Wait, hold on. Whatever they got. You got 50 burgers. You got the potato salad in there. Order up. Go. See that? Vision in the field. What thing, Chris?
This one back here. Debbie.
I did that a long time ago.
Cuban and a ham, but I don't have
Have you ever heard of Danny's before? Or is this
Yeah.
your first trip?
We've been here once, one at a time.
Okay, well, welcome. I like to welcome everybody.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you did.
Order up there. I need tomatoes, please. There you go. All right. You got a full in everything. I got 2 Clementes, 2 onion rings. Charlie, cookies and cream shake. Where's
It's wonderful out here.
It is.
It is,
Yeah,
isn't
it is nice. It's peaceful. Thanks for a nice lunch. And where can you go for live music at lunch?
I know.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Only Danny's.
I wanna rock with you. I wanna groove with you. Yeah.
Oh, yes, you're ready. Yeah. You got 2 onion rings working? You got a cookies and cream shake? 2 onion rings working, brother. All day.
Can I get art tickets?
Art ticket.
You already got half of the order, right?
It's a lot of phone calls, them calling Dan, talking to him about recipes, how he did certain things and whatever. And you have to email them a lot. Pictures of your place inside, outside, take pictures of your food, pictures of us,
Right.
pictures of your license.
Health department
you know.
reports.
The final thing, you get a contract delivered in the U.S. mail, and it tells you in descriptive terms what you have to do, what you have to provide. You have to close for 3 days, all day long. They give you the dates of when you're going to close. You have to invite so many guests, different guests, each of those days.
Hey, Deb.
And they
Who's gonna
tell
put
you
a hole
how
in that
many to
hose?
invite. And then they tell you what food to have on hand. So everything is in advance, and then you have to sign that contract and get it back to them. Then it has the dates of when they're coming. And then when they do come, they tell you it takes 6 months to a year before you will air, and they will give you a 30 days notice. And we aired exactly 9 months after the date that they filmed, and they did contact us 30 days in advance.
Wow.
So just as they said would happen, did happen. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, good work, good work. That's that one. All right, I got a cheeseburger, mustard, lettuce, tomato, onion, cookie, red cheeseburger. Got a cheeseburger. I got a chicken burger. What's it for?
She wants it on the side, not on top of her sandwich.
Order up. Bam, that's art. Now we're doing the 12 o'clock.
Working that order right now. And it was the first 3 days that you close. It's only the filming, or 2 days. It's only the filming crew, but it's 9 hours that they're here, and they come and they film everything. You just cook and film, and greet your guests and feed your guests, and then the last day is when Mr. Fieri comes. So, and he really liked the place. We were only supposed to be like a little 3-minute lead in to a Cuban sandwich, and Dan was supposed to make his mojo, marinate the pork, pull it, make a Cuban sandwich. And when he got here, he fell in love with the place and walked it in, passed his co-producer and said, Mike, call and cancel everything I have the rest of the day. I'm going to stay here and light this place up.
Oh, wow.
So we got real lucky.
Oh, wow.
He created a sandwich for us, named it the Guy Fieri TripleD Triple Play. play. And after he left, the crew said that he's never done that before. He picked up a wiffle ball bat and signed a home of Guy Fieri's TripleD Triple Play, handed it to me, and said, "Here's your permission to use my name." And it was definitely a cool day.
Wow.
So Dan was under the spotlight the whole day, and that's a pretty intense heat.
Yeah.
It was hot in the kitchen. Our place is small, as you can see,
Yeah.
so the cameras and the
It's a
lights
tight
were right
fit.
there.
Yeah.
They don't let you turn on anything. We had to turn everything off, even the air conditioner, because our air conditioner makes noise, and because of the filming and the
Right.
sound, they wanted everything off. So, as you describe your day, Dan.
Huh?
Describe your day with
Order up, brother.
All right. I need two TripleD setup.
TripleD setup.
All right, cheeseburger one. I need a Clemente. I need a Reuben.
Got TripleD here, baby.
How's it going on?
TripleD.
New Orleans. Abajo. Bloody ring.
You're gonna like it. The first time you've had it, you're gonna like it. It's a good sandwich. And, of course, the guy made it famous. He created it.
Got it going on.
We got a special too?
Yes, sir. I need 2 ounces beef. Anything else in TripleD? No, 2 ounces beef for a special. Beef. Roast beef.
I got a TripleD twice.
And ever since we started selling it, I've never heard anyone say anything bad. I mostly say it's too much. It's a lot of food, but it is good. Like Guy Fieri made it.
Oh, yeah.
Delivery.
I know when we get in the lunchroom, we'll be turning heads with it.
Yes, everybody will be going there. Be sure, everybody will be going, where's that come from? Describe your day, Dan.
Huh?
Describe your day with Guy.
I was nervous, You got.
He didn't look nervous.
I felt nervous. That class in high school you hated public speaking. That's the way I felt. So it was basically we were pretty much. Sticking to the game plan of doing the things. He was cool about helping me out a little bit on a few items. Of course, he made the sandwich for us, which was a major thing. And the fact that he decided to do a full show instead of a 2-minute lead-in. Everybody said that was a great thing too. We got 10 minutes instead of 2.
Yeah, in fact, they called right before they told us we were going to air, and they told us that they had so much good footage that they were going to make a longer show than usual.
Yeah.
Normally there's 3 restaurants on every episode, but they were going to do
That's
2
right.
in our episode. So we got a full 10 minutes of airtime, and we've been told since then that that's pretty good.
Yeah. And you mentioned they recorded 33 hours.
33 hours is what I asked when they were leaving, because you get to know the camera crew. We got to know them really well and liked them all really well, and you get to know the other restaurant owners even without meeting them. We've met 2 of them now of the other 6 restaurants, because they're going from place to place to place.
Thank you,
They'll film here, and then they're going to the next restaurant, then the next, and when they get them all filmed, their first day of filming, then they start over, and then the last day they come with Guy, and he's going to each and every one of them. So as they're coming, they're getting to know you. They spend the whole day with you, So it is like, the cameraman, the sound man, the co-producer, and there's 2 guys with them that we call roadies. They help out with everything.
Yeah.
So there was a camera crew of 5, and at the end when I asked, they said, we have over 33 hours of tape here. So that was impressive. I asked, what do you do with that? And they said that they hire writers, and then a writer will take that and just view it over and over and over, write a script, and then put it to the script. So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And of course, we had no idea what it was going to look like. We were very nervous about, could it be bad? What's it going to be?
Right.
Because you don't know how you'll turn out. And when we watch the show, they mail you the video the morning that you air. not before. So
You don't see it. You see it like you see it.
Right.
so we
Cold
watched it
turkey.
on TV, and it made us hungry. It was like, oh wow, if it makes us hungry for our own food, it's a good show. So we were very pleased with the final show when we saw it air.
Are you really using a ruler?
It's the only way we make sure that it's accurate.
Cheeseburger, that's tomato mayo, french fries.
Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Ooh, human. This is the bomb.
Here, take it here. Here.
Nancy, I need some chili.
Rico, I got a bag coming right here. All right, buddy? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
No, guys. Manny, I got a Babe Ruth coupon. What's it, buddy? You got the Cuban up already with that, yeah.
I should say that when they were filming the food, they were filming Dan cook it, and they made him cook all of the burgers that they were going to do, and they filmed him as he was cooking him.
Yeah.
But then they also have what they call plating shots, and they went outside to the front of the restaurant, and they put up this pedestal, and they had a white plate on it, and they would make him make each sandwich, and they would do what they call still shots out
Beauty
there.
shots.
Beauty shots,
Yeah.
exactly. And they wouldn't even let him, like, if they wanted, okay, give me the Nolan Ryan, they would say, and he would make the Nolan Ryan. And he would hand it to him, and then he would say, okay, can I make the next sandwich up? And they would say no. They wouldn't let him make the next sandwich up. They wanted to completely be done with the Nolan Ryan, finish shooting and everything, and then they would say, okay, now do the Roberto Clemente. It's like he couldn't, they wanted it to be so totally fresh, not even a 2-minute wait from the time it left his grill to it got to the plate to be shot. So
Got the Cuban right here.
Need a Philly setup. Philly setup, please.
Ready to set up?
Yes, sir.
Get it up.
Thank you, buddy. Got a cheeseburger, no bun, no mayo, with the Philly.
Okay, number 90.
Dan, this gentleman said this is the first place he's been to outside of Philly that doesn't want to stick those damn bell peppers on a Philly. You want to know if you were Philly? No, we don't. He said this is the first place that doesn't.
years, no, Pottstown actually, and I never heard of green peppers on its steak
Until they got to Florida.
until I left.
Where's my Philly for Zippy? Zippy's here. Yeah, it's just not the right flavor if there's green peppers on there, buddy. I don't know what it is.
I know, I mean, I like green peppers, just not on my steak.
Good box for a round trip. Box for a round trip. Philly up, it's order time. Yeah.
Other Rick is here also.
That's what I'm saying. There are two Ricks.
Yeah.
Boys, Rick. Rick.
Which
Don't
one?
come together next time. Initially, they did it. Great tasting burger. But we found when we cut it in fourths, we figured it was the easiest way for people to handle it because it was so big.
Yeah.
We would have had a hard time staying together. When you put the pastrami, mustard twist pastrami, it gives a level of base for the burger, and then the tomatoes, onion rings. Easy to cut, easy to handle.
Yeah.
And the jalapenos, I forgot.
Right. The
It just,
jalapeno. Which was all up at the top before, and then you put it in the center,
Right.
and it just seems to hit that little sweet spot.
we basically, it was his sandwich. We just changed the levels of which we put it
But
on.
they told us to. I mean,
To work with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, because when he was, when Guy was throwing it together, there was such a last-minute thing that he was doing, that he didn't know he was going to do that when he came here. It was just kind of like
Yeah.
an off-the-minute, and he's like that. He's so, smart, and he just sees as an opportunity to do something, and you could tell. It was just an off-the-moment thing.
Right. Spontaneous.
And then
Right.
so
Collaboration.
when we left, the camera, or when he left, the camera crew was having Dan do the sandwich for the beauty shots out front. And they were saying to Dan, you got to work with that. You got to get it so it's manageable, because it wasn't manageable.
Right.
And so Dan's the one that doubled the bread, making it Texas cut instead of regular.
Right.
And then it was still fall all apart. And
Right.
then he
Yeah.
said, well, I'll club it. I'll put throw picks in it and cut it. So
Okay.
changed it around.
So
and
that's
made
the
it,
four-way cut as opposed to just one
Right.
slice.
Yeah.
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 I don't know how we got that way, but it's a lot
You
better
did,
that
because
way.
it kept falling apart.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you said, well, let's just cut it like a
Cut it
like
force.
like a
Right.
club. Put
Yeah.
four hooks in
It's
it.
funny because when he was doing the sandwich on the show, I might have suggested a thing here or there to put on it, and luckily for me, he didn't listen to me because we did it all his way and it turned out real good. So he did the right things as far as knowing what to put on it,
Right, right.
which seemed haphazard, but he knew what he was doing.
And-
Guy, if you're listening.
And the funny thing
Uh,
is, it didn't sound good to me. The sandwich didn't
No.
sound good at all.
Right.
And when we went home that night, I said to Dan, "How did that taste? Because it doesn't sound that good to me." And then Dan said, "To tell you the truth, I was so nervous, Gail. I don't really remember how it sounded. I mean, how it tasted." So a few days later, he made one, and we sat back here, and I fell in love with it. I was dreaming about it that night. I woke up in the middle of the night wanting one. So
We serve them nonstop.
I
all
recommend them
day
to
long.
everybody that comes up here now, and I've never heard anybody say a bad word about it. Everybody likes it.
Oh, the burgers right here. Where's the chicken, guys? Right here. Give me a combo box.
Mike is here.
Give me a combo box. Mike is here.
Thank you.
Half the table out there, it looks like to me, is pretty full.
We work right down the street. We got about 800 employees, and a lot of people come over here from work. So even if I'm not thinking about Danny, someone comes back to the office with Danny, and I'm like, I'm going to Danny's.
What about the blubber comment?
I don't even know where that come from.
It's blubber. I mean,
It's blubber. Blubber's good. I remember eating steaks as a kid. My mom would cook them outside, or my dad would out on the grill outside, and you have that layer of fat around. That was the best part to eat, as far as I remember when I was a kid. And that pork has a nice blubber content on it too,
Right.
and that crunches up when you cook it towards the end.
Yeah.
It's like pork rind almost. Real good.
Foul burger. So much so that Danny knows if I don't get exactly what I get every time, he grills me, no pun intended, and says, "Hey, why aren't you getting the usual?"
You changed something.
He knows it. He knows everybody's name, everybody's order, so it's great.
How much did you pay him to say that?
I didn't even know he was coming in today. I didn't even take his order. Thank you, Mike. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
8:53, baby.
Hey, get the special off the press for Mike, please.
Did you catch the part, Cut Me Mick? In the
Yeah.
film?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then of course the Cool Hand Luke, which
Well, that
everyone.
came first. Dan did the Cool Hand
Yeah.
Luke, and so, but then later when
Yeah.
Dan wiped him, he was
Yeah.
like, "Cut me, Mick." He
Yeah.
threw an old movie,
Yeah.
Rocky.
a famous line
That's
back
Rocky.
to him. Guy threw one back to Dan because Dan put out the original. She's shaking it. Boss.
Yeah, that was it.
And that was not pre-planned. Neither of those lines.
Because I didn't remember him saying that. So when we saw the show the first time, when he said it, I kind of laughed because I didn't remember
Well,
him
you
saying,
remember
"Cut
the
me,
Cool
Mick."
Hand Luke thing.
Yeah.
Because you said to me that night, we went to the Columbia restaurant. We had Dan's 83-year-old mother over to the day Guy Fieri was here. So when we left, we had to take her back home. She lives in Pinellas Park over in Seminole. And
Right.
so we stopped at the Columbia restaurant. We had dinner and we were discussing that. So he was remembering the Cool Hand Luke remark.
Yeah.
And he said the guy caught that and he said, "I wonder if that will be in the film." So we weren't sure they'd use the line, but they did. But neither of us even remember the Cut Me Mick line. So.
Hi guys, how we doing today? I'm wonderful. What can I get for you guys?
Let me get a cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak. It comes with mushrooms and onions. Is that good? Any fries, any onion rings? Our onion rings are to die for, guys. Is that it for you, or are we together? Aw, how sweet is that? I'm fixing ice cream. What, the vanilla, the strawberry? Good.
Yeah.
And then I love the strawberry cheesecake one. Yum.
Oh. Wow.
Strawberry, mousse, Oreo, and peanut butter.
Yummy.
Yummy.
All right.
I eat one every day.
Do you?
Yes, she does. Yeah.
We're done, right? Well, the dairy bar comes from. If you read the menu about South Philly, my parents, we used to go and visit my grandparents in Longport, New Jersey, which is South Jersey on the shore. And there was a place we always went to about a half mile down the beach called the Dairy Bar. And it was a place you had to go to if you were visiting. They would have the soft serve, and you dip the soft serve in the chocolate, and you get a nice crunchy ice cream. And just when we decided to name the restaurant, we threw Dairy Bar on it. And people come up and say, what's a Dairy Bar? And I tell them that same story about that place down in Longport. And, you know, it's probably, wow, 40 years back when we went there. And it was just a local little place that you go to.
Give me that third one. Thank you, love. Let me squeeze by.
Hey, you girl.
Sizes are right here.
I better get that one. I put her the white one and a double X.
Ready? Added 2 extra wide, 2 small wide. How much?
Great. Man, let's roll with this, buddy.
Yep, they're all square there.
That'll be fun.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
You got it?
All right, well, the
All right,
whole
Mom and
family.
Dad, come on.
Yeah, the whole family.
Take it afterwards with this one.
Sure.
You have to really move back because
Okay. All right.
yeah, he's always checking my stuff. Here we go.
All right.
Oh yeah.
You got it?
Yep. That one.
There you go. Mix it up.
When I get on Facebook, you can tell all your friends.
Great
Oh,
food.
no, Daddy,
So,
on the map.
the tightest girl tomorrow?
Yeah.
Nice beach. We're done, right?